That'll go away now. Because they could walk through France's territory before, because I was allied with them. So these are Tibet's troops. I don't know what they were doing in our territory, but they probably started in our territory because of the conversion. Do I want to leave my fleet up here? Well, since I'm organizing everything, let's move everything down to here. There's a Navy base here. So the Caucasus front is not going to be that important now, but it could be later, depending on how Germany does. So Communist China has annexed Yunnan, as they probably would have done it a lot sooner if I didn't do anything. And they've annexed nationalist China. I don't know if Guangxi Clique got any of their land. They started at war with them too. Whatever, it's fine. So the stuff in China is stabilized. Manchukuo is not a puppet of Japan, by the way. It's just kind of there to do stuff. So I'm leaving my northern flank and my eastern flank completely undefended, which is probably a bad idea. Later on I might direct some units over there if I'm feeling bad. So they canceled their trade agreement. Okay, let's... You know what? I think maybe I need that. I need this popping up. So as you can see, we're still making a profit on supplies. A little bit. It doesn't really look like it, but I kind of am. Okay, Great Vinland on the warpath! Great Vinland continued its aggression by staking claim to the whole Pacific Northwest, declaring war on Ireland and the remnants of York. Powers on both sides ponder on how to handle the situation, lest they anger the Norse. Japan, sensing weakness, throws in its lot with the Zentrum powers and begins an expansionistic campaign of conquest in the Pacific. So this is our first major event happening. So, they are now allied with Flanders, Ireland, and York. They're allied with Cuba and Guatemala for no reason. Now, Ireland was not sane enough to join anybody, and they're actually at war with the United Kingdom. I don't know why. I think I wrote that in the event, but I didn't put it into the thing. Just because if they don't, then the war will not end. So, because our threat has been raised by that happening, we can do some other stuff. So the 2-year draft is what we're currently in. It has a reserves penalty impact of -50%. And it gives us a manpower rotation penalty. So if we do this, this will cut that in half, give us 25% more manpower and 25% more officer recruitment. Pretty much everybody will be in 3-year draft or service survivor requirement by the end of the game, so there's no real advantage to this. There's an advantage to not doing it. And war economy, which is under economic laws, which gives us basic mobilization into full mobilization. As you can see, our neutrality and unity, one of the must be below 60%. We are at 100% unity. I actually have very few officers. I need to fix that. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do this. Now, everybody starts with reasonably low neutrality, so we'll be able to do this stuff just as well as we can, so it just kind of jump starts things. So that increases our IC as well. Production. So let's see what it puts us at a lot. So we actually, let's go ahead and set our supplies up to where we need them. I'm actually going to set it to like 40. Okay, and then we have about 15 production that we need to account for. I'm going to leave my consumer goods high, because as you can see, this has completely wiped out our thing. But I'm not going to leave them that high. I'm going to leave them at, let's put it at 35. I wish you could just type in the numbers here. Lend-Lease is something that I'm probably not going to bother doing it. We need upgrades, we need reinforcement, I don't care. Yet. Let's actually boost this to 1. 1 into 1. 1. Not 3, 1. Shit. Very sensitive sliders when you have a lot. When you have 184 industrial capacity. That's fine, whatever. I have to spend the money on it. So we have... Okay, I have 20 now. Let's build some more of these as reserves. Whatever. Build some more. I'm actually building 2 units each time. So... And unlike... Ah, there we go. And unlike in the Celtic Union... the Celtic Empire game, I'll actually be able to... deploy my units in places that I can actually use them. So, the Russian Civil War. Tensions in Russia have reached a boiling point, and a border skirmish between Muscovy and Smolensk has turned into a full-scale invasion. Meanwhile, the Tartarian government intervenes on both sides, stating they want to restore order. I could have worded that better, but the events are the same. So this is what we're going to be watching, as closely as we dare. I'm not going to turn off the fog of war or anything. Okay, we are above the... What we need... What am I wasting IC on? It shouldn't... Oh, I'm wasting IC on supplies. Okay. Actually, I want to leave that high. I want to leave that high. I don't care what you say, game. Tell me I'm wasting 3 on consumer goods. Okay. Well, that's reasonable. Let's just have it at 32, because that's what it says I need. Okay. It shouldn't say you're wasting stuff on... Spending IC on consumer goods actually gives you money. You don't normally want to run the game at this speed. But I'm doing it anyway. I actually want to... Let's put this at 45. Have more supplies ready. Losing a bunch of guys because they're marching across the hellscapes. I hope they get there in time for the war. So we have first blood here. As I said before, it spawns troops on both sides because Muscovy has no chance if they don't. There's an event similar to France that if Muscovy's capital, or any of their capitals, was taken, but mostly it pertains to Muscovy and Tartaria. If their capital is taken, it ends the war. Smolensk is more resilient as it has more big cities. So, I actually could probably... No, I actually can't declare war on them. Okay. I guess my thing is not that. Oh. So as you can see, I'm gaining quite a bit of supplies now. It's not really giving me shit about that anymore. And then the AI will trade it away as it wants to. So, in its inefficient research, this stuff's moved to the bottom. Let's get rid of it. Because 2 years is a long time in this game. It's like a quarter of the game. So we can see here that we can see Tartaria invading in the south. So we had light artillery also go to the bottom. Cool. We'll fix that. Already into May. Honestly, just the fact that the build-up phase is so slow is the only reason I'm doing this. Okay, so we have a lot of diplomatic influence. Let's go talk to Egypt. What we want to do with them is influence nation. What this will do is it will tell them to lean towards us. Right now they are starting close to us, and they're going to drift towards the Entente at 13.8, and right now they're drifting 3.58 towards us. And once that kicks in, it's 4. Basically making them drift less quickly towards France. As I say, that may not matter later. That'll build up. And we can do things about that. So these are normal France events happening. Let's move these guys over to here. Now I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did last time and have like fronts with color codes and things like that to help help me determine what's going to go on. As I say, I'm probably going to ignore the east and north for now. If things tend to go badly the other way. See, my units are getting here. Okay, heavy cruiser is probably ahead of time. Apparently not. Infantry support weapons definitely is. And I'm actually researching things behind. So I want this to be done as soon as possible. That's almost done. I can't do any of these. I can, but I shouldn't do any of these. Let's unlock rocket tests for now. Electronic and mechanical engineering is a set of things. So we'll move on to census tabulation and radio technology, because that unlocks both of them. We have units to deploy. These are our first infantry units. So let's go ahead and put them here. And we'll just figure out what to do with them later. I don't think I really want to be running it this quickly. Let's slow down the speed a little bit. So let's take a look around the world. York is pretty much collapsing, as you would expect them to. I don't know. Things are working over here. Looks like it's kind of back and forth. I guess we'll see. Alright. What's weird is if the United Kingdom takes over Ireland while Great Vinland has not gotten all of their stuff, they will end up with the remainder. Which is fine, I don't really care. Alright. This game is a game that you can kind of run unpaused for a while. Alright, looks like they're holding their capital rather well. Incidentally, if Smolensk is the one that takes Tartaria, which usually happens, it makes the war drag on a little bit longer. If Tartaria does it, the war ends pretty quickly. We'll just have to see what happens. Conga line continues. My garrison unit decided it doesn't want to move, as does this unit that I probably didn't bother to move. Now, I thought there was a way to move them faster. There probably is. It's fine. We'll figure that out later. I thought there was like a redeploy option or something. So because I set it to build them in serial and in parallel, it's going to build another unit after everything I'm doing here. So that's fine. Let's turn the speed up a little bit again. I'll be fluctuating between 4 and 5 just to see what's going on. A parliamentary scandal, a political event. These will happen all the time. They really rarely have any kind of like significant impact on the game. Last week we had the displeasure of disclosing certain suspect activities relating to a prominent figure in the government. This week, the minister concerned failed to make a public speech denying his involvement in the scandal. However, an expert reporter on one of the nation's national radio stations managed to press the minister to more or less confessing that he has not only lied to the public about his involvement, but he has also been lying in front of the High Court on several occasions. Our political specialists tell us that this is probably will force the head of the government to reshuffle his cabinet. So, okay, we get a leadership modifier minus 20% and a daily dissent change of plus 10%. That sucks. So, we need to go to our production and set our consumer goods up. Until that blows up. So now we can build bombers. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's build. I don't want that to be done later. I'd rather have more over time. We'll do that. We'll build carrier aircraft later when we build more aircraft carriers. Right now I'm not doing that. And once this goes down, we'll do that. Okay, I think we're good on supplies. Let's set this down to about that's a good amount. Okay. So Chitauri is making some good advances. I think right now there's not really. Oh wow, they're actually lower than I thought they were. There must be a major city over here that was taken. Probably this one. Counts. Alright, the event for this hasn't fired yet. You can do more research. Instead of doing that, let's go ahead and turn this up to 175. Because we're missing out on some. Let's go ahead and have this above 11, just because we're short on some officers, so I could use some more. Wasting IC. On what? Well, consumer goods for one. Without a repressive government, you need an awful lot of this. Set that to 33. I should get rid of that. More research is possible. Okay, let's see. Let's get all these. They'll research when they do it. Okay. So too much stuff here. That is education, which increases our leadership. Deploy these planes. So do that. We're wasting IC again. On which? On production, so I need to queue up some more stuff. It says I'm wasting consumer goods too. Whatever. Okay. So, let's go ahead and build some convoys then. We're gonna need those later. I think you can set it to automate the convoys. I think it's doing it. As you can see, we're trading very heavily with France and the United Kingdom. Italy. Okay. A bunch of people. We're actually trading even with Great Vinland. A lot of money going on here. I want to have max resources. As you can see, I'm not going to be hurting for resources. Except maybe money. Sweden claims Scandinavia. Backed by Germany and the Zentrum Alliance, Sweden has claimed the Scandinavian area for its own. The European powers are outraged, and Iceland, sensing that it may be targeted next, joins Great Finland as a state, uniting the Norse people under one flag again. So they gain control of this, which is something that is completely inconsequential, but I thought it would be cool, maybe. This raises the threat towards the Zentrum Alliance, which makes France a little antsy. Francy-antsy. And I want my units to get here. Look how slow they are. Now, using transports would be much quicker. Maybe I should have done that. But you gotta be tough to be a soldier in the Persian Republic, so if they couldn't get across the entire country before 1938, I don't know what kind of soldiers they are, and I don't want them anyway. Okay, the United Kingdom has been accepted in the Entente because Germany is being a dick. So Ireland is now at war with the United Kingdom, or with Japan because of their aggression thing. They're attacking Korea, Philippines, and Japan because there's islands over here, and they're weak and pathetic. Even though Hitler's in charge of the Philippines. If Hitler was in charge of the Philippines in real life, we would have never heard of him. Just saying, man. Not that insulting Hitler is very controversial. So, how are you doing over here? Okay, so I can't offer them an alliance. Let's proclaim a guarantee. Yes, a guarantee that you will be cool. Let's do that with Egypt. Kamchatka? I can actually declare war on Egypt. I don't know why I would do that. What? No aggression fact? No. Why? How are you drifting now? Still drifting towards the Entente. Let's proclaim a guarantee. Maybe that'll help. Whatever. We basically have the growth towards that direction. It's fine. We're wasting IC. Let's build some more units. I'm wasting 10 on consumer goods. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. You happy now, game? Okay. So this game's going to move a lot slower once we actually start getting into the war. So did this take care of my... Yeah, it did. Oddly enough, my troops are moving much faster through Africa, because it's not hell jungles. These guys are getting murdered. My units, like, die down here? What's going on? I never told these guys to get up here. I guess that's the problem. Whatever. I'm being completely irresponsible here, and I like it. I guess I should add this guy to the other thing. What's this called? It's called the Air Force. I guess it's not its own thing. So the way this works is there's a bunch of different levels of HQs, and you basically assign them through a chain of command. Maybe I can just combine the units? Oh, this is them. Okay. And he can only have 8 air wings, but that's okay for now. Okay. So it looks like units are starting to arrive a little bit better. These units I told to leave late, so it's okay. We're not trading with Sweden anymore. So the front is getting close to Muscovy, but it looks like they're defending pretty well against Smolensk. Could be bad for them. Okay. And now we're getting a lot of units over here. So I don't think we start out with... These are our reserves, by the way. I don't think we start out with the most troops in the game, but we definitely start out with a lot. And we probably have the highest manpower. Because we have India. India has a shitload of dudes. Let's watch to see what happens over here. We're rooting for Smolensk here. It seems like they're doing well. They'll probably win, which is good for us. If Smolensk breaks through and takes Muscovy, it will take longer, but probably a foregone conclusion at this point. Great War demonstration. Which Great War? There were like 7 of them, probably. The Great War demonstration was held in the capital. Tens of thousands of people cheered. Cabinet members and members of the opposition as they all met to speak to the public at today's event. The head of government, leader of the opposition, both spoke against the oppressors and announced that this country will never again accept such acts of evil that took place during the last war. During the last year? I don't know. The head of state also spoke, telling the people to rally behind the government and to support the necessary measures designated to restore peace in the world and defend democracy. Great. So we get some ruling party support, which doesn't really matter. We really only have 2 functioning parties, so, at least at the moment. There is some else, but the only 2 of them have organization. So. Because that's what the converter did, man. I didn't do nothing. Here we got an election. Things basically probably stayed the same. Yeah, we even got the same guy here. It's fine. Dariush Farabors, the benevolent gentleman. Okay, so we need more ICs doing stuff. Looks like we're wasting IC on consumer goods. This 18 or 19. Come on, you overly sensitive bad thing. There. Okay, rather than doing that, we definitely need to have some upgrades. So let's set this until that bar goes white. I guess we need more than that, so we'll set this to 25 then. We're gonna need a lot of reinforcing and stuff. Probably is a bad idea. We're losing diplomatic influence right now, are we? That's okay. It's because I'm only spending a little bit on it. Okay, so working at 11. This has got radio technology. Apparently that didn't change any of our things. We're nearing the end of 1936. I probably don't even have most of my troops over to the front to start reorganizing. But, oh, there we go. A perfect end to this session. Tartaria annexing Muscovy. So Tartaria got a resounding start in the Civil War and is occupied about a third of Smolensk. If they take Smolensk's capital, then they will accelerate the end of the war. Now, I believe that Smolensk is allied with Finland and Lithuania, and they may pull them into the war. Who knows? We also have a unit I can do. We're slowly building up our officers, by the way. There's a couple of units. These are probably reserves as well. I'll put them here with the others. No, they are not reserves. And then I will bid farewell. And let me know what you think about how things are going. I apologize for making the game less random than people were probably expecting, but I think I've explained why I had to do what I had to do. And I hope everybody will enjoy the series. If you have any suggestions of things I should add to the later game, I can still add them. So feel free to say, you know, this should happen after this point. Because I might, you know, take that into account. If it sounds like a really fun thing, I'll probably do it, even if it's kind of stupid. I'm perfectly open to certain things. And if people are disappointed, you know, go ahead and tell me. I'm pretty thick-skinned about things like that. And if you have any questions about what things are going on, I probably won't put this up for download. People ask me about that stuff all the time, and I'd love to accommodate, but I'm kind of sloppy about my modding. And I just kind of replaced the entire folder with stuff, and then I can't remember what I changed. It's because I do this over several weeks or months, depending on how things go. So I apologize in advance for those who are looking forward to doing this. Maybe once things are all said and done, I'll go back and I'll look through things. I think the one that is most closely resembling an actual mod is my Victoria 2 one. So I'll look at that first. But not until we're done with this whole thing. So I will see you next time on Let's Play Hearts of Iron 3. And hopefully you guys will join me.